So the hard part is really just tidying the data. It's gathering it. It's the collection of information that's taking most of the work. And then the rest of it is just, it's easy. You have to transform the data, and then you model it, and you find the mechanism that generates the data. There's another topic that comes up, which is data privacy. And what about synthetic data? Like we have GDPR and Digital Services Act, which regulates the consent and the right that corporations have to use data in different manner. Y'all have an obligation to fulfill consent requirements that say, okay, if a user opts out of using this data, then we cannot use that person's data. Where you can opt out of allowing your data to be used to train AI algorithms. Well, in statistics, what that creates a problem is missing data. When you have data that's, look at this, beautiful. When you have data that's partially missing, there's different types of missingness, like missing at random or missing not at random, MAR or MNAR. Well, most of the time when people opt out of consenting to use their data, that's actually MNAR, right? And you can do things like find patterns, or you could use machine learning to make inferences about the patterns of missingness and say, well, perhaps there's a pattern. There's some that people who opt out tend also to have high levels of variable X, Y, Z and low levels of D, G, F. And therefore we can make some guesstimate as to this type of pattern. And we use synthetic data. We generate random samples and then feed those back into the data. And so technically I'm not using the person's data. I'm using generated data. Generative adversarial networks, well, the way that those work is you have two networks, a discriminator and a generator. It generates the samples and then it tests if those samples are realistic or not. And if they're not, then it continues to generate more realistic samples. So it's teaching itself how to create realistic fake data. Yeah, it's anytime that you can generate realistic predictions for something, what you're really doing is you're generating data, right? Now you have Hugging Face for getting pre-trained models, Hugging Face for downloading. There's Python libraries even that make it even faster for you that do PyTorch or TensorFlow or Fast AI that train different models. And Amazon, as you saw in the other video, has SageMaker for fast AI learning, and